Welcome to my channel, ketomealsandrecipes.com. Today, in this video, I'm going to show you how I make my keto version of this absolutely delicious and decadent white chocolate raspberry ripple ice cream. This is a very rich and flavorful keto ice cream that has a wonderful creamy mouthfeel, where the sweet white chocolate flavor is perfectly balanced with a slightly tart raspberry swirl. This is a European-style custard-based ice cream that's very dense, so you will need just a couple scoops or so for a full serving. So I hope you will follow along and watch the video. And by the way, at the end of the video, I have added a short video of a new little creature that has come to explore our front yard. Now, so that you can decide how many scoops you can enjoy, the macronutrient ratio for this amazing white chocolate raspberry ripple ice cream is 11.4 to 1, with 4 grams of total carbs, 1 gram of dietary fiber, resulting in only 3 grams of net carbs with 2 grams of protein. Although the ice cream itself is not hard to make, there are 2 prep steps you should do, preferably a day or 2 ahead of time. First, you will need to make a full batch of my sugar-free sweetened condensed milk, and you will also need to make my sugar-free seedless raspberry sauce. But I will explain how to do that because I have slightly modified that recipe so that it works better in the ice cream. Let's get started. To make the raspberry sauce, it's very easy. And as I've said, I'd make this at least 1 day ahead of time because it does need time to set. So, to a saucepan, add the raspberries. You can use fresh or frozen. Pour in the water, the lemon juice, and also drop in your finely ground sweetener. I've reduced the amount of sweetener I use because this will make a slightly tart raspberry sauce, which works best as a complement in the ice cream. Place your pot on your stovetop and cook on medium-low heat at a light simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes, at which point it's time to mash your raspberries. I find it much easier to puree with my immersion blender, but if you don't have one, use a potato masher or a hand mixer. By doing this, the puree will be smoother, and as a result, it will be much easier to pass through the sieve. Next, pour the pureed sauce into a fine mesh sieve, which is set over a bowl. Because the puree is quite thick, you will need to use a spatula to press the raspberry puree through the strainer to remove all the seeds. This will take a bit of time, so be patient and sift as much of the puree as you can. You are done when all that is left are the seeds like this, at which point just discard the seeds. Then pour the strained puree back into the saucepan, place the pot over the stovetop, and again bring the sauce to a light boil and cook for about 5 minutes. This will help to evaporate a bit of the liquid. Now, sprinkle in the gelatin powder and stir immediately. For this recipe, you do not have to first bloom the gelatin, but do stir very well to dissolve the powder. Then remove the pot from the stove. So this is step 1. As I said, we're doing it the day before, so cover your saucepan with cling wrap or a lid and place in the refrigerator overnight. This will thicken the sauce and develop the flavor. This recipe will make 2 cups of raspberry sauce. You'll only actually need 1 cup for the recipe, and with the leftover raspberry sauce, if you do not want to use it as a spread on toast or whatever, you can freeze it for future use. And in the future, use it as a strawberry substitute in my Victorian sponge cake. It's really delicious with the raspberry. Or substitute the cranberry sauce in my cranberry orange yogurt bars. Again, really nice complement to this bar. And one more suggestion is to use my leftover raspberry sauce as a topping for my no-bake keto cheesecake, which is also made with white chocolate. Now, let's get going and make the ice cream custard. Begin by pouring the cream and almond milk into a saucepan and place it on your stovetop set to medium heat. Bring to a light simmer, increase the temperature to about 170 degrees Fahrenheit or 67 degrees Celsius, and get a heat-proof mixing bowl to which you add your egg yolks, powdered sweetener, finely ground salt, and whisk everything to combine into a very smooth creamy mixture. My liquid has come to the right temperature, so I'm going to use it to temper the egg yolk mixture. Some people are intimidated by this, but I find it to be very easy. And the way that I like to do it is to slowly pour a light stream of the heated cream mixture into the inside of the bowl, and as you're pouring, whisk continuously. I have found that if I drizzle the warm liquid down the side of the bowl, it's less of a shock to the egg yolks. Tempering in this way dilutes the protein and brings the yolks to a safe, warm temperature. I also like to add all the warm cream mixture, and then when everything is combined, pouring it back into the saucepan. Since we're making a custard, place the pot back on the stovetop, still set on medium-low heat. Stir continuously while cooking at a very light simmer until the mixture gets to 170 to 175 degrees Fahrenheit or 77 to 79 degrees Celsius, but be careful. Stay at the stove continuously. Now the custard has reached the correct temperature. You have completely pasteurized your yolks and they're no longer raw. So remove the pot from the stovetop and immediately to the warm custard, drop in your chopped sugar-free white chocolate, add the vanilla, and also the sugar-free sweetened condensed milk. Then whisk vigorously to combine thoroughly and make sure that the white chocolate chips have completely melted and the mixture is smooth and homogeneous. If you have any doubts or you have some of your egg has curdled, it might be a good idea to strain the custard by pouring it through a sieve again. My custard is completely smooth, so I'm going to omit this step. For best results, both flavor and ease of making the ice cream, I cover the custard bowl with cling wrap or a tight-fitting lid, let it cool at room temperature, and at that point, refrigerate it overnight. And just a reminder, pre-chill the tub according to your machine's manufacturer's directions. I really love my Breville machine because it has a built-in compressor and I don't have to pre-chill the tub in the freezer. But do use whichever machine you have and follow those directions. It's now the next day, so my tub is perfectly chilled. I'm going to pour the custard directly into my ice cream maker. If your machine has a hardness setting, set it to maximum hardness, and then let the machine do the hard work. When the ice cream is done, it is the perfect soft serve consistency. You can serve it that way, but for the ripple ice cream, we're not quite done yet. So what I like to do is to transfer 1/3 of my ice cream into a freezer-safe container, which has an airtight lid. That's very important. And as you can see, I'm using a plastic tub, which my non-keto son gave me when he finished his store-bought ice cream. It makes a perfect container. And before using it, remember to stir the raspberry sauce and then scoop out and drizzle several tablespoons of this prepared raspberry sauce on top of the ice cream. Then using a knife or a spatula, run it back and forth in a zigzag pattern to swirl the raspberry sauce on the surface. Repeat this process again with the second third of ice cream and more spoonfuls of raspberry sauce, and zigzag at this point through the ice cream. But be careful because you want defined swirls and not to blend the raspberry into the ice cream. And then just repeat one more time. I have found that if you use 1 cup of raspberry sauce, it's just enough because it doesn't overpower the white chocolate base. That's done, so now cover the tub with your airtight lid and place in the freezer for a minimum of 3 to 4 hours. You'll actually find that it might take longer, and I have found that if I leave it in the freezer overnight, it gets to the right hardness and the texture and flavor develop to their best. When your ice cream has hardened to the desired consistency, all you have to do is take it out of the freezer, scoop it out, serve, and enjoy. And as promised, here is a short video of our newest visitor. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch my video. For more tasty treats, check out the end cards I have selected. If you liked my video and you want to show your support, Please like, comment, and share this video with someone you think might also enjoy this ice cream. Your support is appreciated. And please do come back when I post my next video. Until then, I hope you have a very happy and healthy day.